Barcelona is a city that reads like an old manuscript. Layers of stories, written, erased, rewritten, and whispered again. Today we're wandering through its literary soul. The cafes where modernism was born, the alleys where fictional mysteries unfolded, the squares where history left scars that authors couldn't ignore. Barcelona isn't just a backdrop for literature, it's a character, moody, magnetic, and endlessly inspiring. The theater district is the spiritual home of the Cemetery of Forgotten Books, the mythical labyrinth at the heart of Carlos Ruiz Zafran's The Shadow of the Wind. While the cemetery itself is fictional, Zafran drew heavily from the Gothic Quarter's atmosphere. Its narrow arteries, its echoing footsteps, its sense of secrets tucked just out of sight. Zafran's work transformed Barcelona into a global literary pilgrimage site. His novels sold millions, and readers now wander these streets searching for Daniel Semper's world, the bookshop on Santa Ana, the misty Rambla de Santa Monica, the melancholy corners where Julian Caro once walked. Barcelona's tourism board even includes Zafran's locations in its official literary routes. Stand here long enough and you'll feel it, that sense that a story is about to begin, or maybe already has. Los Cuatro Gats isn't just a cafe, it's a manifesto in wrought iron and stained glass. Opened in 1897, it became the meeting place for Barcelona's modernist movement. Writers like Santiago Rusinol and Ramon Casas debated art and literature here, shaping the Catalan culture renaissance. Picasso held his first exhibition in this very space, but it wasn't just painters. Playwrights, poets, and novelists gathered here to challenge the old order and imagine a new Barcelona. When you sit at one of the wooden tables, you're not just having a cortado. You're joining a century-long conversation. Lay is more than a bookstore, it's a cultural institution. With over 300 bookshops in Barcelona and more than 100 publishing houses, the city is one of Europe's most literate urban centers. Here you'll find Catalan classics, Spanish literature, and international works side by side. It's a place where contemporary Catalan authors share shelf space with Marquez and Woolf. Upstairs, the cafe hums with quiet ambition. Students annotate novels, writers revise manuscripts, travelers scribble postcards. It's the kind of place where stories begin without fanfare. The Plaza de Sant Felip Neri Square is one of the most haunting in Barcelona. Its pockmarked walls bear the scars of the Spanish Civil War, shrapnel from a bombing that killed dozens of children. George Orwell walked these streets while fighting in the militia. His memoir, Homage to Catalonia, remains one of the most important first-hand accounts of the war, capturing both the idealism and the disillusionment of the conflict. The square also appears in Zafran's novels, where its silence becomes a metaphor for the city's buried grief. Sit here long enough and the past feels close, not as a history, but as a presence. La Rambla has been a literary artery for centuries. Miguel de Cervantes set parts of Don Quixote in Barcelona, the only real city the knight ever visits, and he described the city with affection and awe. Café de Opera along the boulevard became a gathering place for writers in the 19th and 20th centuries. Today it remains a time capsule of velvet seats, mirrored walls, and whispered debates. Barcelona's literary history stretches from medieval scribes to Renaissance poets, from modernist playwrights to Latin American boom writers who found refuge here. Walk La Rambla with a book in your bag and you're part of a centuries-long tradition. Located in the Gracia neighborhood, Café Salambo is a modern literary haunt where writers gather beneath the gaze of a taxidermied lion. It's featured in several contemporary novels and is known for hosting readings, book launches, and late-night debates. If these are past and present, the world is alive, irreverent, and full of possibility. Plus, every April 23rd, Barcelona transforms into a living library. Over 25 literary festivals take place throughout the year, but Sant Jordi is the crown jewel. Couples exchange books and roses. Authors sign novels at stalls lining the streets. The entire city becomes a love letter to literature. If you ever doubted that books would shape a city, come to Barcelona on Sant Jordi's day. Here's some travel tips if you're going to be a literary wanderer. Stay in the Gothic Quarter or El Raval for easy access to the literary landmarks. Visit in the spring or early fall for best weather and festival seasons. Take a guided literary tour to explore sites tied to Orwell, Hemingway, Zafran, and other Catalan authors, and spend an afternoon in a historic cafe. Here's your postcard. Dear listener, today I walked through a city that feels like a novel. Every corner a plot twist, every cafe a chapter break. Barcelona doesn't just inspire writers, it invites you yourself to become one. Wish you were here.